Alright.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tailgating. I'm sitting here with my sidekicks. This is Marcus. That's Bruce. We're having a good time out here. And guess what? How can I say this? You like music?
Of course I do, man. I'm a music guy.
What about you? You
Well, I
play?
love music. Been in bands. As long as I don't have to sing, I'm fine.
Man, I was just thinking about how music plays such a huge part of sports. That we can hear the song and we know what sport's attached to it,
Well, that's
yeah.
or
true.
what program is attached to it.
Oh, God, yeah.
You remember back in the day when we were watching the Rockets in the playoffs on NBC?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that one.
You don't know that
No,
one?
that sounds like Batman to me, but I don't know that
Oh,
one.
no. But I tell you, like, no matter, it was almost like the ice cream truck. Like, when you're a little kid and you hear, and you hear it and you just know the ice cream truck.
Uh-huh.
If you're in your house and, like, back in the, like, early 90s, late 80s, and you hear that, it's like, where? It's like you just go run because you knew it. This is like when Michael Jordan was playing, Isaiah Thomas and Hakeem Olajuwon, like all the greats were playing back then.
You remember that morning we went to church, we saw Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
he was the cameraman, the guest cameraman for the third quarter.
Yeah.
They showed the guest cameraman on NBC when the playing NBA games and everything. Man, that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I think about when I think about that anyway, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man.
Well, like, remember Monday Night Football? That's what I was thinking about.
Oh.
oh,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Dun,
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 dun, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Don't.
Okay.
I remember every Monday night. Back in the day, Monday Night Football, that's what you had to watch.
Oh
you know?
man. How does the song go like on CBS?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's coming back.
Yeah, well, Fox.
What's Fox?
Oh, da 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 da. Okay, yeah. Okay. Hey, we didn't mean to like go through band class here, but yeah, those theme songs definitely just make you remember what those sports are. As soon as you hear that first note, you know exactly what's about to happen.
And what about the announcers? I mean, there's announcers to me.
This
that
is
are just
Howard
almost.
Cosell.
Oh yeah, Howard Cosell.
This is Howard Cosell, and we're talking with Muhammad Ali. That's right, Howard. I'm the prettiest person out there. That's right, I'm pretty, and nobody's gonna stop me. If he comes over here, he's gonna get me. No, that's not gonna happen because I'm bounced like a butterfly and I sting like a bee. Okay, now.
I guess.
Okay, sorry, I went a little too far with
Well,
that
for
one.
me, I mean, of course, he was with the Cowboys, but with Howard Cosell, Monday Night Football original, Dandy Don Meredith.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I
and
know.
I love it when the game's over. It's like the party's over. And he always sang that. You
Yeah.
know. Oh.
Yeah, what is
gosh.
it with the Cowboys and going to the broadcast booth, man? Because Troy Aikman,
Yeah.
you know,
Tony Romo.
and look,
Who's
yeah.
Johnson?
Moose, yeah.
Everybody.
But my favorite, man, it has to be Tony Romo, man, because Tony Romo be in other team business. Like he be up there telling them,
He would be, yeah.
yeah, he watch them line up. Okay, they're gonna run over here to the left. They
Yeah.
run to the left. Oh, they're gonna run up
Oh
the
yeah.
middle.
He's like
You know,
Dick
call
in the
it,
car.
man.
He's calling it.
I love when he circle the top of the field and go, why don't they try something up here? Throw the ball up here up top. Man, I love it, man. That dude is freaking amazing in the broadcast booth.
No,
man.
I think you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
the other ones, Meredith and Cosell, they were entertainers. But yeah, this guy knows the game, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like certain people's voices, like Al
Yeah.
Michaels. Like, I just something about
Yeah.
hearing his voice. It's like it just sounds. It's synonymous with the sport itself. I used to think the same thing about what's the guy that would do the NBA? Merv.
Merv
Albert.
Albert.
Oh my
Merv
God.
Albert.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan has taken the court. Like I
And
mean,
it seems
just
like
that-
there's a couple of people that just imitate him now, just because that
Yeah.
voice is so iconic. They kind
Yeah.
of steal from it or borrow from it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few folks out there, but I mean, Bob Costas, his voice is a little more
Yeah.
monotone, but I mean, it's still a voice you recognize.
Right.
John
Yes.
Madden.
Madden. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I think he made something like in Dallas, and we had Bill Bates, but I mean, he's a good player, but I think John Madden just like saying his name, Bill Bates, you know, just those two B's on it. He kind of helped make him more well known.
I'll go back to the guy from the NBA. I just said his name a few moments ago, Merv.
Merv Albert.
Merv Albert,
Yeah. It was like words that I would learn. Like I didn't even learn in school. I learned watching it, like repertoire. Michael Jordan is pulling all of the tools out of his repertoire. I'm like, where'd you get that from? Did we play in
It
Scrabble? or
doesn't
watch the game?
belong in sports. It doesn't sound like it. I know it. Well, who's the guy now? He's got a brother that broadcasts. I think he coached for Houston, but then
It's Stan
basketball.
and Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah, Ben, I like the way that Ben Gundy at least is like, they need to start penalizing flopping. Or when like
He's
one time he
big on
throw the
that.
ball and it hits someone's foot, he says, "How's that kicking the ball when you throw at the guy's foot? That's not kicking the ball." So I like how he kind of
Yeah.
criticizes some
Oh
of the
yeah,
rules.
it's like just calling out like some things that just like, I mean, he was a just a premier coach, and it's like he didn't play all the BS, and it's like now some of the theatrics that go on and just things that just make absolutely no sense. He just calls it to the carpet. I love that about him too.
yeah.
And apparently he lives in Houston now. Because
Oh, okay.
have you seen that clip where he's explaining during a game, during a live broadcast, he's explaining to Mark Jackson about Buc-ee's.
Oh really?
He's talking about Buc-ee's. He started talking about how his Texans were going to do better that season and all of that. And I'm
Oh, I
like,
didn't know
okay,
that.
okay, so you still live in
Claiming,
Houston.
claiming the city. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, like, when you think about today, are there any announcers that just are just at the top of their game, or when you hear their voice, you immediately get fired up, or you just it's synonymous with the sport itself?
Kevin Harlan,
Ah, yeah.
Kevin Harlan,
He's got that voice. I like his voice. Yeah,
Doris Burke,
yeah. That's another one. Okay, you on it? You on a roll?
Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
Not Reggie
Reggie
Miller.
Miller, he's a collar analyst, right? But he's another monotone guy like Bob Costas, I think, but he adds some. I mean, he's been doing it long enough now, right? I mean, he's one of those few players who transitioned into like sports analysis or announcements and has done just a phenomenal job doing.
Well, I just love it when Shaq and
Inside
Barkley
the NBA.
go after each other. I mean, they're just entertainers.
Oh God,
They're
like
just natural. I love it.
yeah, it's so funny because I just watching the NBA playoffs this year. I was more had more affinity towards watching like the Western Conference Finals, right?
Yeah.
And I think ESPN, I love ESPN, so don't hate me for this. But when those announcers got and did like the halftime show or the post game commentary, it was okay. But when you watch the Eastern, and again, I was more of a fan of the Western Conference Finals to play out. But that I think TNT had that, and just listening to Charles and Kenny and Shaq and Ernie just do their thing. And you're right, those guys have been together almost 20 years, and they've won a few Emmys, I believe.
Yeah,
award.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because of that. And I mean, that just shows that it takes a lot to hold that many people together for that many years, but it just is a testament to the chemistry. And to your point earlier, Bruce, like just seeing Charles and Shaq just go at it, like, oh no, I think that kid needs to step his game up. He's doing a really good job, but I think he needs to bring more to the paint. And then Charles comes in. Ernie, I'll tell you, that kid is a shame. He should put more emphasis into his defense.
He's a bonehead.
Yeah.
That kid's a bonehead. He's hurting his team.
You know, one thing about Shaq, and I know I don't want to derail the conversation, but I want to give big props to Shaq. Like Shaq has been an amazing humanitarian. He has given to a lot of different charities. He's helped people that were in all types of financial straits. I've just heard a story recently where some kid was struggling to find a shoe his size, and Shaq bought him like a load of shoes. So big props to Shaq, man. I appreciate.
Well,
the
didn't he
human
start
side.
a shoe company that was lower price shoes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a story. So if you think about it, a lot of the major athletes at the time, especially in the NBA, right, they were charging premier costs for their shoes, right? $150, $200, $300, $400, $500, and I think this is during Shaq's heyday, and I'm just paraphrasing the story to a degree, but supposedly a mother came up to him and kind of gave him some grief and said, "Why are your shoes so expensive? My son is a big fan, but
Yeah.
he can't afford your shoes." And he worked out his deal with, I want to say it was Reebok, right? And lowered the cost of his shoe. And I want to say put it in stores where not only was the price lower, but it was stores that people who didn't have like these large incomes could actually shop at and afford his shoes. Again, just showing the humanitarian side and just remembering that, hey, not everybody can drop $150 on a pair of tennis shoes.
Who can?
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, do you remember Steve Nash?
Oh,
Did you ever see? Now, did you ever see that he did one of those YouTube videos, and he was pretending he was somebody. He walks into a place, and this lady had a Shaq shoe up on display, and it was signed by Shaq.
Wow.
And Steve Nash goes over to it and grabs it and says, "That's a big shoe." Yes, it is. He says, "Let me sign it to make it worth something." So he signs his name over Shaq's name. Act like
Wow.
The look on that lady's face was like,
Wow. I wonder if Steve Nash ever got that hair thing taken care of, man. Oh, sorry. Hey, you know I love you, Steve. Wow.
Well, hey, that's what we do here. We talk about sports, we talk about our favorite teams and our favorite athletes, but we want you to leave comments, okay, and let us know what you're thinking about, who you're thinking about, what's your favorite play, what's your favorite game, and just tell us what's on your mind and make it related to sports so we can talk about it too, all right? Look, like and subscribe, okay, and we'll see you next time, okay?
All right, y'all.
We love you.
Peace.